Hey there, I am Judy Prokopiak with Judy Prokopiak Coaching, and I'm really excited to be here and on this summit, and I'm really just grateful to be able to share a little bit about this um, self-leadership topic, right? If you want to be a better leader, lead yourself first. So that's really what I'm going to be talking about here. You have the little worksheet that you can follow along if you want. Uh, but the reason for this topic is because we are all leaders, right? We're all leaders. We're always leading ourselves, and sometimes we're leading ourselves down the path that maybe we don't want to go, or sometimes we get off the path and we have to get back on and keep going. But we're also leaders in our family, right? We're leaders in our church, we're leaders in our community, we're leaders of our businesses. So we are definitely called to leadership, right? But the bottom line is we have to lead ourselves first. And you know don't really have a lot of time to talk about my story, but basically, I stepped into a lot of leadership roles over the years, and one of the challenges was that I wasn't really good at leading myself, right? I was going to be a human doing, take care of everybody else. I was going to do all of these things that I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know how to set boundaries. I put myself last. Sometimes I wasn't even on the list. Forget it, at the bottom of the list, the top of the list. So this is really an important subject, because so many of us we have such good hearts, and we just really want to change the world, and we want to make everybody happy, and we want to help everybody, but we tend to not do any of that for ourselves. So it's not selfish. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. It is not abandoning. You're not abandoning anybody else either, right? You are actually um, gonna help them as well, right? Because if I look back, and I could have really been a better nurse, a better leader, a better coach, a better mom, a better wife, all of these things, had I really taken better care of myself, right? And made myself a little bit more of a priority, right? Instead, and the reason my story had to do with shame, unworthiness, rejection, abandonment. So I was looking for my worthiness and validation out in the world. So when I really needed to find it here. So just like, if you've ever done CPR, then ABCs, right? Airway, breathing, circulation. And so we're going to talk about the ABCs of self-leadership. We're just going to start with the ABCs. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about awareness, right? So awareness is the key to changing anything in your life, right? You've got to be aware of what's happening, how did you get here, what's going on, right? So we want to keep awareness at all times, well, not 24/7, but we need to be aware of, how we got here. So one of the things I have for you is, we're going to do a little exercise here, but you can go to my website, judyprokopiak.com, and you can get a free whole life assessment. It's 12 areas of life. But right now, what we're going to do is we're just going to take the 4 categories. So we're going to break it up into 4 categories, and it's going to be health and well-being, relationships, time and money freedom, and creative expression, which is your work vocation in the world, right? So you're going to start with those 4 areas, and you're going to say, where am I, right? Health and well-being. Where am I? Am I healthy? Am I fit? Am I strong? Where's that? Like, am I struggling? Am I dealing with illness or disease? Or am I dealing with food issues, right? Where am I? And then on the other side of the page, you're going to write, where do I want to be? What do I want my health and well-being to look like? Do I want to be at a certain weight or fitness level? Or do I want to be running marathons, or do I want to be able to just play with my grandchildren, right? So whatever that looks like. And then, do I want to be able to travel, right? Maybe you just want to be strong enough and fit enough to really travel. Maybe you want to go paddleboarding like me. Like, I love paddleboarding, ocean, everywhere. And then you're going to say, what's in the way, right? What's in the gap between where you are and where you want to be? You're going to write down all your excuses, all your reasons, all your stories, all your circumstances. And that's what's going to show up. And you're going to say, this is how you get from point A to point B, is you overcome those obstacles, right? So that's the idea. The obstacles are the path. They're in your way, but they're there to show you how to get there, right? So, so you can talk about what are your current results in each area? Who have you been up until now? Who do you need to be? And then how would I, as a leader, want to show up in my business, in my family, in my community, in my church, in my life, right? So what version of me as a leader do I want to show up? And then, you know, self-leadership just means you need to know yourself, be honest with yourself, what your current results are, how you got here, right? And then, you know, where you want to be. And then you look at your obstacles, and that's actually just overcome the obstacles and you got it. So that just leads us into B, which is for beliefs, right? So we had awareness, and then now we're going into beliefs. And this is probably the most powerful part of any transformation, is really knowing what your belief systems are, where they came from, how to change them, how to turn them around. Because the belief system is like the operating system, right? This is the hardware, this is the software, and we need to update the operating system. This is probably the most important work that you'll ever do, is really getting at the root cause, at the root beliefs. And it's also doing the thought work, right? Knowing how to do the think, feel, act cycle is really powerful. And I'll talk about that in a minute. So I have a few tools for you to really deal with your beliefs, right? So you could take any situation, any circumstance, any of your current results in your life, and you can do some thought work around it, right? So it might be, I have the example here, I can't stick to my eating protocol, my diet, my lifestyle because why, right? And then you're going to write down all of your reasons, all of your stories, all of your excuses, whatever comes up. You're just going to keep writing. You're not going to judge the thoughts, you're just going to write them, right? I can't stick to my eating protocol because I'm addicted to sugar. I'm too busy to cook healthy food. Eating healthy is too expensive, right? Something you're just going to write. And then you're going to go back and you're going to circle, and you're going to say, which one has a lot more energy around it? Which ones feel like they might be true for me, right? We have relative truth, so it might be just true for you. And then you have to look at it and say, is this really true, right? The other ones could just be random thoughts and, you know, not really random thoughts that, you know, they're not really powerful. They're just sort of random thoughts that came through. And so what you have to ask yourself, is it really true? Can I absolutely know it's true, right? This is sort of from Byron Katie's work, if you know her. And if it, you know, or is it just an excuse, right? Or is it just made up and it's just a way to stay stuck? So, and then what you can do is you can say, well, is it really true that I'm too busy to cook healthy food? Right? If you're making yourself a priority, if you are doing self-leadership, self-care, it's going to be important for you to cook good food for yourself, nourish your body, right? Nourish your family. So whatever that looks like. So maybe you're too busy, right? But then you could have somebody cook your food for you. You could get pre-made food that's healthy. You could eat shakes and soups. Those are easy to create, right? You can create a soup at the beginning of the week. I do that a lot. Eat it during the week, have soup and salad, like chop up vegetables one day. So is it really like that? Just could be a story that you're telling yourself, but you have to know what the thoughts are, because the thoughts are driving your actions. So so you just want to choose a more empowering thought. You want to ask, is it true? And then you want to say, well, that's not really true. Like, it's just as true that I'm not too busy to cook healthy food, right? And then, you know, another option is to just do some free download, right? Free thought download. Just write all of your thoughts, just sit and just write and write and write until you keep saying the same thing or you run out of stuff to say. And just let your thoughts flow, right? And it's simply to notice what the thoughts are and just sort of say, okay, well, this is probably what is holding me back, right? This is some of the things that are going on in my head. You're like, oh, well, no wonder. I'm feeling this way. I'm thinking this stuff, right? And then you can do the same work. You can be like, is this really true? Or is it just stuff I've just been regurgitating forever? So that leads us into the C, which is for connection, right? I could have a lot of things here for C: clarity, courage, confidence, competence, curiosity. You can have a lot of things, but connection really kind of sums it all up. It's kind of like, if I could just pick 3 things: awareness, beliefs, and connection. And the reason that I'm bringing up connection is because the reality is that it's really about connection to yourself, right? We value and we need connection to other people. We need to feel connected to the earth. We need to have connection to our God, higher power, right? But we really need connection to ourselves. We really need to dive in and know ourselves and like ourselves and have self-compassion and self-love and self-worth. And so we really need to connect with ourselves. And so many of us don't do that. We are busy running from ourselves, right? We have so much negative chatter in there that we don't want to stop and have a talk with that. But that's really the work. That's really the work, because once you're in alignment with your values and who you are, and all of the other junk is pulled away, all the stuff that isn't you, all the beliefs and the stories and the shame and unworthiness and not enoughness and failures and relationships and abandonment and anything else that went on, right? It's like those things are no longer you, and then you just get to be really your authentic self, showing up in the world, doing your work in the world. So right, so we need to be connected with our intuition, our mind, our purpose, our dreams, our desires, our body, emotion, our feelings, our higher self. And just self leadership just really requires this self introspection and self reflection, right? So once I started noticing and putting all of this stuff out, and getting it out on paper and looking at it and letting the tears flow and letting the healing happen and rewiring and reframing, then I was so much more at peace, right? I was looking for peace and purpose for 35 years probably, right? But the peace was here and the purpose was here, not out there. So that's what I want to talk to you. That's what I want to bring to you. That's what I'm talking about here. It's like, if we can find peace, we're not going to be so stressed. If we can find peace, we're not going to be emotionally eating and drinking and Netflixing our life away, right? Running from ourselves, not really we're not even present, right? We're running from the past, which is depression, or we're like, we forgot about it, or when we think about the past, we get stuck in depression, or then when we move into the future and we worry, then we get stuck in anxiety. So one powerful tool that I really want to leave you with is this tool called pause and wait, right? I'm just like, sometimes you just get triggered and you get, you just have all these feelings. You could get angry or frustrated or sad or lonely or angry or disappointed or whatever, right? We have this trigger feeling. And then what I tell people to do is use the wait, WAIT. What am I thinking? Right? And then you just notice the thoughts in your head. You just notice them, right? And then you're going to say, oh, wow, what am I thinking? Your thoughts are driving your action. So it's really a powerful tool. You can use it anytime you want. I even made these little coins that people can keep on their purse and their keychain, because it's really powerful to just stop and pause and breathe and take a breath. So that's pretty much what I have for you today. I know we need to keep this right at 15 minutes. So if you want to learn more, Judy Prokopiak Coaching, you can get in, you can follow me online, and Instagram, Facebook, Coach Judy Prokopiak, and gut brain health and self-leadership and all of that. So I hope this was helpful, and I'm so honored to be here and learn about all of these amazing women doing amazing work in the world. So thank you for your time. I hope that you enjoyed this, and go be your best, lead your best life by leading yourself first. Bye.